Hello, everyone. Oh, Lord have mercy. If I tell you something, Tinubu is so afraid. And that I can tell you, 2027 is between Nigerians and Tinubu. And that's the way Nigerians must take this whole thing. The craziness that is going on, it's all over, all over the place. Here you have there's a particular Malam who came out in preaching and condemned the whole things that are happening in Nigeria, especially the northern part of Nigeria. And I can tell you people, a lot is going on. One of the things that has been done is that people's voices have been shut down. People are not allowed to talk. I'm sure you've not forgotten all those things. They say protest is haram, don't talk at leaders, do this. It's subduing the people, taking the people's voices away. If you see the atrocities that are being meted out in the north, it's unbelievable. Where you see, in short, kidnappings, torture, bandits and whatever. We call someone, they will tell people to bring their daughters to them. After using them, they will take them. It's all manner of things you cannot imagine. There's one where a newborn baby, they whether they killed the child and fed it to the dogs. If you hear the things, they are crazy. And sometimes when people say that, oh, they are not talking, people are not talking, sometimes it comes from the fact that people have been oppressed, suppressed, their voices, taken away from them. You're seeing an Islamic cleric has been suspended from Ramadan sermon in Yobe for saying governors fear Tinubu more than they fear God, more than they fear Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. During his sermon, Sheikh Al-Kali condemned kidnappings, banditry, and the lack of political will from state leaders. He warned of a society paralyzed by fear of powerful figures. Yobe State has been thrown into controversy after the leadership of Jamaatul Izalatul Bid'ah Wal Iqamatus Sunnah Jibwis Just faction suspended prominent is. Oh, Lord have mercy. When I tell you people, all these religious rulers they are even worse than the political rulers. Some people say, oh, Aisha, you do this, you do that. See, so the so-called Izala that put themselves as the ones that are supposed to be, fighting for justice and all, they are the ones suspending Imala because he spoke against government. So Izala and government, bad governors are now on the same, this thing. It says suspended prominent Islamic cleric Sheikh Al-Kali Abubakar Salih Huzaria from delivering his Ramadan text interpretation at Moka's mosque in Damaturu. The suspension followed a sermon in which Sheikh Ali openly criticized Bola Ahmed Tinubu, Northwest governors, and corrupt officials over the worsening insecurity in the region. There's worsening insecurity in the region. A Malam is speaking against the insecurity in the region, which that's the way it's supposed to be. And you are not suspending him because of that, because for saying the truth, you are not suspending him. But no wahala. It's not everybody's voice that they can suspend now. It was gathered that the action was taken after a meeting convened by the national chairman of Jibwis Council of Ulama, Mohammed Sani Yahaya Jingir, which included the cleric as well as state and local representatives of the group in Yobe. According to insiders, Sheikh Al-Kali was accused of using strongly worded statements against certain individuals in the region, as well as their president, because for me, it's not my president. Nigeria does not have a president. Addressing insecurity in a manner inconsistent with the organization's established methodology. And the question you ask, what was the organization's established methodology during the time of Jonathan? What was it? Oh, so all of a sudden, it is Tinubu and people can no longer talk. You are even suspending your Malam that is talking, that he can no longer, During his sermons, Alhaji Al-Kali condemned kidnappings, banditry, and the lack of political will from state leaders. He warned of a society paralyzed by fear of powerful figures. He said, today, people are abducted and traded as though they are cattle. Someone will be abducted and taken to the bush. They then negotiate the ransom. Families employ, even though the abductors are complete ignorant, they will beat and kick their victims. Often they will stamp their feet on their victims' stomach in Ramadan. And I think he was talking, there's this viral video. I just didn't, the pictures were just so gory. I didn't want to even, share those videos and all of that, where there was a guy who had been kidnapped by this bandits, terrorists, and all of that. And they did a video. And now they don't hide their faces now. Like Zachary Idris said, during Jonathan during that time, they used to be afraid and hide. And now their faces are open. They even have TikTok, social media. They are doing all their things there. And so this man that they kidnapped, they were beating him up. He was jumping on his stomach, stomach jumping or stamping him, and all of that. It would be hard for that man not to have internal injuries the way he was manhandled for one of the videos that they put. And they'll be putting repeatedly this kind of videos. So people see this kind of video before you know what's happening. They are gathering money, putting money together to go and give, to go and give this bandits. And I'm sure that those are part of the things that he spoke about that led him to this suspension. The first time, I think it was 2019, when I heard that some of these malams are paid by government to do favorable sermon. It was crazy, and that was the memo that came out of Kaduna State. He also criticized politicians' reverence for power over piety, saying one of the signs of catastrophe this generation will likely face is the tendency to revere individuals out of fear of their machinations. Look at how state governors fear Tinubu much more than they fear Allah. If you are in the APC, you are treated like a saint. If you are a member of opposition, you'll be treated like a devil. One will be confronted with trump-up charges. Who is Tinubu? You deceive us. You are a deceiver and a cheat. And that's the question. Who is Tinubu? Tinubu does not have two heads. Tinubu can be taken down, and I tell you that they will vote. He will lose that election. He didn't win the 2023 election, and by the grace of God, he's not going to win the 2027 election. These are the people that say, forget about it. I can tell you, he's at the weakest that he has ever been, more than ever. And people will say about it, how many people can he arrest? How many people can he suspend? How many people can he do whatever? As we go into this 2027, my brothers and sisters, it's a war. We are fighting for our lives. We are fighting for the soul of Nigeria, and that's the way we must take it. Reacting to a suspension on Facebook, Sheikh Al-Qari said he accepted the decision in good faith and urged his followers to remain steadfast. He described Jingri as not only a religious leader, but a father figure. He wrote, "To my followers, relatives, and associates, I urge you to take heart. This was destined to happen. I cannot exceed the days Allah has written for me to lead Ramadan Quranic exegesis in Damaturu. I urge you to be disciplined and loyal. What Allah has decided is best for us." Social media quickly erupted with reactions. Some youth condemned the suspension as unjustifiable. One user, Katago, criticized the Jebuist leadership for being silent when people needed their voices the most. Others, like Ahmed Usman El Nafati, dismissed Sheikh Al-Qali's sermon as performative. There's nothing impressive in what Al-Qali said. It is theatrical. His plan is to cause some discontent among people. He's simply turning tafsir sessions into comedy. There are people who have preached using, because what he's trying to say, this man, if he uses humor. You understand, when he's preaching. There are people who that's their style of preaching, and people get to listen more. Everybody has his style. If you can't come and you're like, hey, it's so through humor or whatever that you get people to listen. A lot of people listen to his preaching. But the thing, whether he's doing comedy or not, are there not killings in Nigeria? Are people not dying? Why is Jibu silent when the people are being killed? Where are their voices? So they are now with the oppressor and not with the oppressed. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is seeing all of us, and he sees the heart of every man. And when we die, we live here, we will account for whatever it is that we did on this earth.